Hello everybody and welcome back to Splattercat's indie short of Neo Scavenger. Now, where we had left off, we were setting up a base camp here, but we did need to head east because there is a storyline in this game. That's actually something that I've neglected to mention during the course of playing, is that there is a inherent storyline. So there are things to seek out, there are things to do, and there are actual quests. Now, we have cleared out this general area, and we do have some supplies here. We may want to hang out, though, and defend our campsite. Now, let me go ahead and go back because it's been a little bit since I played last. So I'm going to take a look at what our supplies are right now. We've got some food, a bunch of plastic water bottles, we've got some sniper scopes, we've got some extra tools. It's all here in our cryo center, but we do need to branch out. We need to get a little bit further out. So I think I'll probably head this direction during the course of this LP, and hopefully we don't get ourselves gibbed. So let's take a look, and it looks like we've got another little city over here. So I'm going to end my turn. Oh, I'm in pain. How very, very unfortunate. Well, we're going to have to remedy that. So let's go ahead and hide our tracks, and we're going to rest and heal for a little bit. We're just going to rest, and hopefully this doesn't take us through the night, but we do need to get a little bit of our health back because we're pretty beat up at the moment. And as you can see, this will tick up slowly, although it is going to eat up our feds. Well, it's going to eat up our food status, and it's going to make us a little more thirsty. So let me take a look at what we have on hand here. Oh, good. We have tons of water. I was a little worried about that. So let's drink some water and get ourselves hydrated. And I don't think there's really any need to top myself off right now. I don't think there's any real desire to kind of make sure that I'm maxed out on things, but we will try to keep ourselves fed and hydrated because I don't really know how that affects our pain threshold and how we heal. So now that we're into the next day, we're going to take a look at this city center here, and we're going to destroy our tracks here. And we hit our tracks, and that's going to use up our last movement point. So let's see what is on hand here. We've got a storage shed, so let's check that out. It looks like it's got a reasonable chance for some loot. So it looks like we found something, so let's go check our stuff menu. And hopefully it's not things that we already have, because, you know, you don't really want to run around not gaining anything. This game is kind of on a timer. We are going to have to leave and run off to different locations, to situations unknown before too long, because our stuff's going to break down and we will have looted everything on the map. Now, it looks like we've got some screws, washers, and pins here, and it looks like there's 3 of them. We'll grab those, and we will take the dirty rags as well. Actually, let's put those all in our plastic bag here. Oh dear, we can carry a backpack in our offhand. How very strange. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do that then. Let's just carry a backpack in our offhand if we can do it. And I suppose, I don't know how that's going to affect our ability to attack, but it probably, I mean, there is an encumbrance system. If you take a look, everything has weight. So I'm assuming, oh, we're poisoned too. Anyways, I'm assuming that as we go along, we're going to encumber ourselves. That's my guess. So I'm really not sure. It says we're unburdened at the moment, so I'll just keep an eye on that. We are going to bring a sleeping bag with us, and that hurt us a little bit in terms of our comfort, our ease of travel, but, you know, what can you do? Sometimes you got to grab yourself some new gear, and now that we can carry 2 backpacks, God, we are actually ready to roll. So let's take a look around. You can get a better view of the area surrounding you if you go up on a hill. It's very similar to Civ 5 in that regard, where if you can, you always want to go up on a hill so you can clear out more hexes at the same time. Let's check out this little residential center here, and we'll see what happens when we get in here. I mean, there are monsters and things that can attack us, so I do want to keep a low profile as best as possible. Looks like we got a trailer park or something of that nature here. It says, looking around you, there appear to be a few areas worth checking out. And it says, like other suburban homes, mobile homes were on the front lines in a war between fleeing urban populations and supernatural hordes from the wilds. However, their smaller size often means there's less to be found in each. We have very little loot in here and very little sneak capability, which means we're probably going to get seen. Oh, we lucked out and we didn't get seen, so let's see if there's anything lovely that we can bring with us here. We've got a whole bunch of crackers, so we'll throw that in there. And we'll take the strings, we'll take the twine, we'll take the extra pins and washers and whatnot, because we do need to go back and fix our cooling unit, our heat, our air, basically our AC. I am going to eat these packets outright just to give myself a little boost while we're out and about. I am going to take these empty bottles too, because you can never have enough water storage. You can never have enough water storage. You always want to have ample ability to store water as is necessary. We are going to take the rags as well so that in the future we can make bandages and things of that nature. I've never actually done it, but I would assume that that's an available option. So let's check this other suburb, and I'm going to hide my tracks just in case because I am incredibly paranoid when I play this game. I have been jumped so many times by just random dudes walking around with rifles that seems to be how my game ends most of the time. And we didn't find anything here. So now we have an option whether we want to make a sprint back to our cryo facility and camp there for the night, or if we want to camp here and just head back in the morning. And we can hit these two little centers if we head... Well, I think we've got time. Let's head back now. I think we'll be able to make it before nightfall. And let me end my turn here so we can get our moves back. There we are. And I think I'm going to avoid scavenging for now. I think I'm just going to... We're going to hide our tracks too because I really... The AI is actually pretty astute about finding you. It's pretty observant about locating where you are and taking your stuff. So... We're going to end our turn there, and now it's nighttime. I'm going to spend this turn just kind of looking around. Let's go to our crafting menu as well. And now we needed our mechanic skill. We needed our wires. Where are those hiding at? Wires? Where are you, wires? Let's see here. They're on the next page, and it says I've only got one right there. So let's go back and see if anywhere here we can find those. We do have purification tablets. I've been a little bit worried about the fact that we have an infection right now. That's a little worrying. That's not something that I really look forward to or something that I really enjoy. Well, let me look at my inventory real fast. Why are these pins and washers? Maybe it has to be in the campsite. Let me take them all out of my pockets real quick, and we will eat some crackers to make sure that we are fed. That's going to make us thirsty, so tomorrow we're definitely going to have to spend the day finding ourselves some food. I did want to play with maybe moving these into bottles, the soups. That was mentioned in the comments, and so I'm going to try and verify it for you guys. I don't really know if it's going to work or not. And it looks like... Let's see here. See if I could put a bottle in my other hand, and we'll see what happens here. You can bottle soup. Alright, so that's actually going to save us a little bit of... Well, yeah, it's going to be more efficient because this is using up 8 or 6 units of space. This is using up 4, so we definitely want to move as many of these cans of soup into bottles as possible. So let's do that real fast. We'll put that in our whiskey bottle so that we have like a whiskey soup, which does not sound very appetizing. Sounds like something they would serve at a low class, like kind of a cheap steakhouse. This is our whiskey soup and our atomic bagel bombs. Now, we don't really need to carry around too many more things with us, but I will bring water because staying hydrated is usually very, very, very important in this game. It can sneak up on you, and all kinds of bad things happen once your hydration gets down to a lower level. You actually end up kind of up shit creek without a floaty. So it's really, you want to keep yourself hydrated. Feeding is good as well because that's going to hurt your carrying weight, and really it's kind of a snowball effect. Once one thing kind of weakens out, you're pretty much toast. So you really just want to keep an eye on everything, keep everything running smoothly. Let's take I was worried I was going to have to sleep out in the wild, so we're going to dump all this stuff here. There we are. And what else? Now we're going to go back to our crafting menu. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to our crafting menu, and let's see if we can get this vent up and working. So we're going to combine our mechanic skill. We're going to combine our leatherman and our pins and washers. We're also going to take the HVAC vent. And then what was the other... we needed something else here. We needed something else, and I'm not sure where the recipe's at. We needed one other thing. Oh, it was a tarp. It was a tarp. There we go. So we've got... the player is warmed by a heater. Alright, so now we've got... We're on the edges of civilization now. We've got our heater rocking. We're feeling pretty good. And so let's sleep for the night. I am going to rest and heal as much as possible so that we can get some of this pain gone, because really, this basically functions as your health meter. So hopefully we can sleep through this and feel a little bit better by morning. I can't guarantee it, but we are going to try. And it looks like we got woken up by something, and our health does not appear to be coming back. So we may just be permanently damaged here, which is actually kind of a terrifying premise for the rest of our adventure. I really do... I don't relish the idea of having to go forward into the world slightly wounded, but we'll do what we have to in order to survive, because really, you can get busy working, you can get busy dying, to quote Shawshank Redemption, if I'm quoting that correctly. I don't even remember. It's been a while since I've seen that film. And we are going to need to refill our water supply today. That's really what our goal is for today. So let's go get all of our water bottles filled up, and then we might be able to do some light scavenging after this point. We may be able to fill up tin cans with water too, and if that's the case, we want to do that as well. Just as much water as we can haul out with us. Basically, if we have a container, we need to fill it with water because you never know when it's going to dry up. We don't really know how much water we're going to have to bring with us either when we go to travel east and see what that glow was that it warned us about in the night in the previous episode. So, you know, we could end up needing every little bit of our supplies. So let's be on our merry way as opposed to being on our begrudging way. Because really, we can whistle while we can work, or we can whine while we work. And I would really prefer the former. So let's go here, and we're not going to scavenge. We're actually going to go to our crafting menu, and we're going to say, hey, you lake, give us some water. And so there we are. We're going to go back over to here, and let's start filling up some of these objects. I'm going to sit the gun on the ground for just a moment. And I am pretty... Oh, we're not going to be able to put water in there. Okay, it takes up 6 hexes. I didn't notice that. For whatever reason, I thought that if we could put soup in one, then perhaps we could put water in the other. But alas... We had to go back to camp anyways. Obviously, we don't want to be running around holding 50 gallons of water, or 50 liters of water, if you're metrically inclined. Did I say meters or liters? I just realized, I was thinking, hopefully I said liters. I've got meters on the brain. I've been spending too much time in chemistry class, and my teacher in chemistry class really needs to be more careful about the information he's divulging. Like, we were looking at protonized, basically, we were looking at protonized compounds, and we were talking about cocaine and how it was protonized, and that's why it won't burn, and how you have to break an ionic bond to get this little bit of the molecule to break off so that it'll turn into crack cocaine, and you do that by using a base. And to make a long story short, I think he accidentally basically explained to everyone how to make crack cocaine in chemistry class, and really... Chemistry class is one of those classes that you end up taking where you learn, like, stuff in chemistry class. You really do learn things that could get you arrested in chemistry class. Like, just in a year or so, a year and a half of chemistry, I've learned how to do absurd things using just basic things that anybody with a general chemistry education can do. It might depend on your teacher, too. It might depend on how good your teacher is. Now, I am going to have to drink some of this water, which is unfortunate. That's going to use up a wee bit of our supplies. Here. And, oh, it's actually counting the water and the water bottle separate. I kept seeing water in my inventory, and I'm like, what the hell? So I guess we'll go here. We're still well fed, but I am going to eat these crackers. And we really kind of got to be on our way. We need to get some hardcore food scavenging done today because we have pretty much used up our supply. Drinking seems to be balanced out pretty well, but food doesn't seem to want to work like you want it to work most of the time. So we will... I think drinking up to right there seems appropriate. Like, I like where our hydration's at. So let's go back to our base camp. We will go down. Actually, let's turn this into an overall scavenging mission. We've got extra space. It is a little nasty out right now, unfortunately. And it says we can scavenge here. So I guess we'll do that while we're out and about. Oh, it's just going to let me scavenge the stretch of forest. So we don't want to do that. We're just going to leave. And then we're going to go down to this marsh, and we're going to drink up some, we're going to fill up with some marsh water, which is generally don't do this IRL. Like, if you've ever watched Cody Lundeen or read, you know, Les Stroud books, or even Bear Grylls to a lesser extent, but don't drink water that's just out and about. It's a great way to get yourself a parasite. It's an amazing way to get yourself very, very ill if you're in a survival situation. This coming from, I mean, I spend a reasonable amount of time out in the wilds, and, you know, these are just general things that I tell some of my little freshmen when they come into the major. Like, yeah, don't drink water that you just see around. Hike it in with you and hike it out with you if you can. You know, don't litter, but, you know, bring receptacles that you can refill from a central source. Don't run into a creek and fill up your water bottle. Just because the water is cold and clear does not necessarily mean that you're okay. There could be, like, sheep turds in it. There could be all kinds of gnarly stuff in any body of water, so you really want to be careful. But I will get off my soapbox because this is not survival tips with Splattercat. And anytime I noticed that anytime I give advice like that, oh god, we're in pain. So I'm guessing, oh, we're poisoned. Poison 3, diarrhea, severe pain, recently moved. Okay, so we need to find ourselves, I'm pretty sure somebody looted. Oh, that may have been from drinking the water out of the creek now that I'm thinking about it. I'm giving a lecture on that. I'm just on a diatribe here, talking about things that can kill you. And I actually took part in that activity. So let's... Somebody stole all of our antibiotics. So let's end our turn. Hopefully we don't die here. That would really be unfortunate. And I've used that word a lot. This whole situation seems unfortunate to me. And we're going to hole up here and see what we can scavenge. Hopefully there's something worthwhile here that we can make ourselves feel better with. Let's go to our menu. And it looks like there's enough food and whatnot here. So we are going to eat that food outright. And then we're going to use the ketchup packets to offset our dehydration from eating the crackers. We're going to take a look at this lighter as well. It's not a very good lighter. It's not going to help us much. There are some string which we can use to sew, and there's also some more nuts and bolts here. We can trade the iPad. So for once I'm going to bring that with us. Usually 3 iPads actually. We found several iPads. We found a gaggle of iPads. Now let's go check out some of these other areas. I really wish that we could find somewhere with better scavenging opportunities, because we're not looking so good right now, although our number just went up for pain, which is good. Our number went up versus going down. We're going to check these storage sheds, and nothing found. God. Gotta work with me here, post-apocalyptic world. You gotta help me out. We've got another storage shed. In general, I've noticed you always want to go for storage sheds if you can, but even those don't seem to be very forgiving at the moment. So let's end our turn. Hopefully we will feel better very shortly. Let me jump into my inventory and drink a little bit of this creek water. It's not purified, and that is making me worried. But it looks like we don't have diarrhea anymore. Hooray, we're not shitting ourselves inside out. That's always a benefit. That is always a plus. Life can be hard, but as long as you're not pooping yourself inside out, amazing. Your foot slips through a rotting floorboard, causing you to trip. The scrapes and bruises will sting for a while, but thankfully it wasn't more serious. No useful items found at this time. Oh god, just pouring salt in the wound here. You find an amazing scavenging location and they're like, screw you, bud. You fall through the floorboards. Oh, we passed out from unbearable pain. Well, we should probably figure out how to deal with the unbearable pain. Really, and it looks like we've got a green arrow right now, which is going to make us feel better, so that's good, but we're pretty hungry. We passed out for a reasonable amount of time. Let's find ourselves some food. Let me jump into my inventory here, and let's see if there's anything that we can consume, because I really feel like, I think we had soup in a bottle here, so we're just going to eat that real fast, and yeah, that did wonders for us. So we are now well fed, which we weren't before. I'm going to try and keep myself hydrated. It doesn't like the fact that I'm moving around, but we need to find painkillers. We really don't have the supplies that we need in order to survive this situation. So let's rest here, and we may end up sleeping here for the night. The outdoor temperature is a little low, and it is dropping, so that's not good. And we found stuff here in this crumbling apartment building. So let's see if there's anything. We got Circado's sleeping pills, so that's something, but it's not quite what I wanted. We will take it with us, though. We're not going to turn up our noses at any supply that could possibly help us survive a little bit longer. We really don't want to leave anything behind. See if those lighters are any good. Our shoes are still in reasonably decent condition as far as I know. So we don't have to worry about that just yet. We're carrying a Leatherman with me. I don't know if I should carry that with me now that we have 2 backpacks. Maybe something a little better. We do need to get our pain threshold up, though. I'm a little worried about sleeping out here in the wild, and I know we can make it back to the cryo facility, but really, I don't think we're going to freeze to death before we die of pain. So let's scavenge this location. We've got an abandoned house here. And we attracted a creature. We're going to try and sneak out, which we were able to do, luckily. And we're going to hide our tracks as we move along. He's going to be able to see us, though, so he's going to close back with us. This could be the end. This could definitely be the end. We're going to make a run for it. Hopefully we make it, but we have tripped and fallen, unfortunately. So we're going to get back up. He's going to close distance with us. We're going to try and run again. And we're giving ourselves unnecessary exhaustion. That's really the effect of we keep tripping and falling. I don't really understand why we have to... Well, anyways, we're not having much luck, I think, is the general consensus of what's occurring right now. So we did manage to escape. We're going to cut in a different direction just to get away from this guy. And then hopefully this turn... Damn. Okay. So this turn... is going to leave us in a situation, but we found our way to some kind of shelter. Let's drink up before we sleep, because obviously you don't want to be dehydrated while you're trying to sleep. So there we are, and let's get some rest. Let's get some rest, and hopefully we don't die in our sleep. We are going to take sleeping pills, however, so let me do that. I really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we do want to stay alert, so I'm a little worried about taking sleeping pills. Actually, let's not do it. Let's keep ourselves alert and ready to roll in case anything goes wrong. And we're just going to use a random campsite here, so we'll see what happens. The temperature is going up, so I don't feel like we're at any particular risk of freezing to death, he said as it started raining. So now we're shivering, which is going to make it worse. Our pain threshold is increasing, luckily. The player is weak with hunger, so let's head back to our base camp. I think we have soups and things there. We don't have a lot of moves per turn because we are hungry, and so hopefully we make it back. I can't guarantee that we will. I should have checked the ground right there. There may have been berries or something that I could have used, but we are malnourished and thirsty now, so things are rapidly getting out of control. Let's go to our food menu here and drink up, get ourselves hydrated. There we are. And I wish that when you moused over these, it told you what they were actually doing. Poisoned 3. I'm not sure what that's doing to me right now, but hopefully it's not too awful. Oh, we died of poisoning. How unfortunate. Well, I may do another Let's Play of this once I actually learn to play the game alright. We survived for 4 days, 2.21 hours, and that's really the end of our indie short. What did we learn here? Splattercat is terrible at playing games both blind and also games that really require him to survive, so I may actually do another Let's Play of this game in the future, and we'll play it a little bit closer to the chest that time. But until then, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in this, an indie short exhibition, kind of review actually, and I didn't really give you the review portion, so let's do that now, of Neo Scavenger. So the game is good. It has remarkable depth. I would really recommend it for just about anybody that loves survival games. For those of you out there who enjoy Don't Starve, those of you who enjoy DayZ, those of you that just enjoy wandering around finding stuff and figuring out what you can assemble from the assorted matter that you find will generally enjoy this game. I wouldn't recommend it for people that don't like reading or really just want that dose of super action-packed adventure, because really the combat I think is the weakest part of this game. I feel like the combat could be spiced up a little bit, maybe with a hex system, kind of a la Fallout 2 maybe, like a hex-based turn system, because that's basically what they're doing already with the system they have in place. All they would really need to do, well, I guess it's easy for me to say as a critic, all they have to do, but really a combat system would really make this game amazing. Like, that's really the only thing I feel that's missing from this one. So check it out on Desura. It's reasonably cheap for an indie game. For a game that's this fleshed out, it's made by Blue Bottle Games, and I would definitely endorse it to those people I mentioned. That being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Take care out there, guys.